All right, today we're going to take a peek inside the engine room of India's digital government. We're looking at a single web portal called eForms, which is a system designed to handle the IT needs for one of the largest bureaucracies on the entire planet. Let's see how it all works.
So to really get why eForms is such a big deal, you have to understand the world it replaced. And, the system's own user manual says it perfectly. It was a world of paperwork, of manual forms, and a slow, multi-level process that was just incredibly hard for anyone to track. Imagine you just need a government email account, and your request just disappears into a pile of papers for weeks.
Which, leads to this monumental question: how do you actually replace mountains and mountains of paper with digital workflows that are efficient and, more importantly, transparent? Well, India's National Informatics Center, or the NIC, they came up with an answer.
First, to really appreciate the solution, we have to understand the sheer scale of the problem. It was truly a government paper chase, this endless cycle of manual forms and processes that nobody could really see into.
Just look at this comparison. It shows you the fundamental shift. On one hand, you have the old way, manual paper forms, physically passed from one desk to another, which made tracking your progress basically impossible. And then, you have the eForms way, which brings in automated online forms, manageable digital workflows, and total transparency. It's a complete game changer.
Okay, so with the problem clearly laid out, let's dive into the solution itself, the eForms portal.
So what is it really? Well, at its core, eForms is just one website. Think of it like a single front door for any government employee to request and manage all the essential IT services they need to do their jobs. Everything from getting an email account to securing a VPN connection.
And this was the mission, right here. It wasn't just to put some forms online. The goal was to automate and manage the entire process, from that very first click all the way to the final service delivery. It was all about removing the human bottlenecks and that endless, soul-crushing paper shuffling.
Now, this is where the system gets really, really clever. See, it doesn't just treat every single request the same way. It's got this built-in intelligence that actually creates two completely different workflows.
So how does it pull that off? How does it sort through literally millions of requests from every corner of the government and route them efficiently without causing some kind of massive digital traffic jam? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and it all boils down to one tiny piece of information that every single applicant has to provide: the email address of their boss, their reporting officer.
The logic here is brilliant but simple. If the approving officer has an official government email, something ending at @gov.in, the system trusts it and keeps the whole request fully digital. But if it's a non-government address, say a Gmail account, it triggers a manual process. The applicant actually has to download a PDF, go get a physical signature, and then upload it back. Think of it like a crucial digital security gate.
So let's just walk through that super smooth online process. First, the applicant submits their request. Then, boom, the reporting officer gets a notification and approves it digitally. From there, it goes to the relevant NIC coordinator, who also approves online. And finally, an administrator processes the request and closes it out. Clean, simple, and 100% trackable from start to finish.
All right, so we get how the system works, but what can you actually get through it? Let's take a quick look at the huge digital services catalog that it offers.
First up are the absolute fundamentals. These are the core services that connect every single government office and employee to the nation's digital infrastructure. They are the backbone of the entire system.
This covers everything you can think of. We're talking virtual private networks, or VPNs, for secure remote work. We're talking DNS services, which are basically the internet's phone book for government websites. It also includes managing Wi-Fi access in government buildings and whitelisting specific IP addresses to grant secure, controlled access to the network. This is the bedrock.
Now, once you build on that connectivity, the portal also gives you all the tools you need for government communication, both internally and with the public.
And the scope here is just massive. Through this one portal, an official can get their official @gov.in email, they can create distribution lists for entire departments, they can access bulk SMS services for public announcements, and even set up SMTP gateways, which let other government apps send out automated emails.
So when you put all of this together, the smart workflows and this vast catalog of services, you start to see how a system like this really does reshape digital government from the ground up.
But the real impact, the real magic, isn't just in the services themselves. It's in the features that are built around them. Features designed to create trust, transparency, and efficiency for every single person who touches the system.
And this is where the user experience is totally transformed. Every single time your request moves forward, you get an SMS and an email. You can track its status live, so no more bureaucratic black holes. You can sign things digitally. Dashboards show everybody involved exactly what's pending. You can even chat directly with the people handling your request. Accountability is baked right into the system's code.
Which brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? The system truly achieved its goal. It took that time-consuming process that was chained to paperwork and transformed it into something completely automated and manageable.
And that leaves us with a final thought. This deep dive into the eForms portal really shows us that digitizing a nation isn't just about the technology. It's about redesigning processes, it's about building in trust, and it's about having a clear, user-focused vision. It takes a system that's not just smart, but also simple. Thanks for tuning in.